Welcome to the next episode of The Mayor Show. We're here at Flappers Comedy Club, and we're going to find out more. I'm here with Barbara Holliday, owner and CEO of Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. Hello, Barbara. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's Flappers Comedy Club and restaurant.
Oh,
please.
okay.
Thank you. A lot of people don't know comedy clubs actually have food.
Yeah, and you know, the food here at Flappers is top notch. People talk about it all the time. So I love the food that you serve here. Every time I come in, I always order a full meal. It's really great. So talk to me about Flappers. It is a comedy club first and a restaurant second. How did you get into comedy? Where did this whole thing start?
Oh, many, many years ago. We won't talk years until I get into the Flappers decade. But so I got involved in comedy and I was a performer, took a stand-up class and met a friend who became my partner eventually. And we decided we had this crazy idea to open a comedy club. I happened to live in Burbank for 20 years at the time. And I thought, what a great place. Why isn't there a big comedy club in Burbank? We're so close to Hollywood. And no, I had no idea why none of the other big chains had taken it on. A lot of people don't realize that a comedy club is like a gym for performers, right?
That's right.
Stand-ups have to come and work out. They have to practice before they go do that 16,000 seat theater or whatever.
Right.
They got to try out the jokes, see if they work. And in an intimate setting like ours, you know, I mean, we're small, but we're big, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're total about 9,000 square feet. We have 3 showrooms. We have a 200-seat main room. We have a smaller Yoo-Hoo room, which holds about 60 people. And then our bar and patio is about 50 to 100, depending on standing or sitting.
And it's really great. So, like, you know, Jay Leno doesn't want to drive one of his classic cars over the hill. He can come right here.
Yes.
And do a whole set.
Yes. In fact, he's coming often. Weekly, bi-weekly. We're very excited. It took a long time to get him here. Actually took COVID to get him here.
You opened Flappers right after the economic downturn of 08, 09, and then you were faced with another economic situation later on. Tell me a little bit about your start and what led to the pandemic.
Yeah, it was in 2010 we opened, and we were lucky enough to get an economic redevelopment grant. We wouldn't have been able to build Flappers without it. So the city has been very, very supportive. Everyone wanted this project to work, you know. I had a partner at the time, and we knew that there were a few things that would always withstand a recession, and that was, you know, alcohol, entertainment, and of course laughter. I mean, you always need laughter. When things go bad, it saves us every time. I mean, I always say comedy rules the world. We thought we were doing great. We got launched. We're, you know, 2019, we're flying. We're doing great. I mean, people are coming in. We've got our processes down. You know, we're in this long enough. We're like, okay, we're gonna get this done. And then 2020, there it is. I mean, if you'd have asked me when we opened, or if someone would have told me that they would have shut down my business, I probably would never have opened. Luckily, I had a very good core staff. I was only able to keep about 7 people out of my 50 people. And we hunkered down and we made the best of the situation. We started putting all our shows online and trying to recreate a live comedy experience in the Zoom room, which we did great at. And then we also started serving meals for the Great Plates program.
So you went through all this over the last 13 years,
Yep.
and you had a partner for most of it, but
Yes.
just last year something changed?
Yes. Well, COVID was an eye-opener. You know, we both had a sort of awakening of what do you want to do with your life, as almost everyone did during COVID. And my partner decided that, you know, he was kind of done and wanted to pursue his artistic role as a comedian full-time. And I just wasn't done yet. That's all. I think there's more here. So I decided to buy out my partner, and now I'm 100% woman-owned. So that is both wonderful and scary. I hope we do not have another pandemic.
And tell me a little bit about the stuff coming up. So you've had Flappers University, that's back, and now we're moving into the Comedy Festival. Tell me about the university first.
So we have a school here called Flappers University, or FU, where learning is a joke. And we have had the school since day one, and I personally love to teach, and we have over 20 instructors now, over 350 students. They come in, they take 6-week courses, and then they end up doing a showcase on stage, and they then become fans of Flappers, and then their kids end up taking, I mean, things, it's quite a flow through of people. We did maintain that during COVID as well.
Oh.
We did classes online. So
that's great.
We were able, and we actually opened our audience quite a bit because we were able to get students from all over the world.
And so now you're gearing up for the Burbank Comedy Festival.
Yes, yes. The Burbank Comedy Festival runs August 13th through 19th.
Josh, is that the correct date?
Yes.
Thank you. Continue.
August 13th through 19th. And what we do is we run a whole week of events here at Flappers. Comedians submit from all over the country, all over the world, really, and they stay at our local hotels here. And we teach classes in the morning, we do panels in the afternoon. And
so it's a whole day event.
yes, and then there's shows every night, culminating with the Best of the Fest on Saturday. And we basically have industry come in. We get a lot of industry coming to watch the comedians at this festival. If you're in town, that you come and see a show, because these are comedians that aren't necessarily regulars here and are real up-and-comers.
I was able to attend Gerard Carmichael's workshop on the Golden Globes speech that he did. So he hosted the Golden Globes this year, and he came to Flappers in the smaller room in the back for a couple of nights just workshopping material for that show. And I don't know if it's because you're one of the very few woman-owned comedy clubs, but you've created a vibe here that is very, like you said, generous and welcoming.
Yes.
And so all the comics I
Thank
talk
you.
to, they love coming here and they love working with you.
Yes, yes. Well, Gerard, Carmichael, he started here as an open mic comedian, and that was in, 2010. And you never know. That's the great thing about clubs, is this is where it begins. And then it's so awesome to see people launch from here. I mean, we've had many other successes from here. Drew Lynch, Samuel Comroe, Taylor Tomlinson, all great comics who really got their feet wet, and then now they're all, super famous. And
tell me about the kids show on Sundays.
well, we call it a family-friendly show. It's called 2 Milk Minimum. The name came about because in a comedy club, we have a 2-item minimum. And so I was producing shows other places. People would always ask, oh, am I old enough to get in? And if they were under 21, I'd say, sure, but it's a 2 milk minimum for you. So the name kind of stuck. It's a perfect name. And his parents actually call us and go, do we have to buy 2 milks? I'm like, no, it's just, if you're lactose intolerant, stay out of the front row. But 2 milk minimum, it's every Saturday at 4 p.m., and it's really just a clean show.
Well, let's see if you can launch my career. I wanted to see if I could take you up on maybe doing a few minutes and give me some feedback.
Okay. It's all constructive, all to just make you better as a comedian, a writer, and a human.
Yes, that's right. And humans do cry, so if I cry afterwards, it's real. All right, thank you.
We'll try not to make you cry.
So without further ado, let's get this audition started. It's time to bring up our first comedian of the evening, Constantine Anthony, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. All right.
Everyone talks to me, they say, hey man, it's so hard keeping up in Burbank. It's hard to get by. And I say, yeah, Burbank is kind of like the game of Monopoly. The rents keep going up. You're only getting $200 a paycheck, but at least we've got free parking.
Interesting.
Well, thank you so much again, Barbara and Josh. You've got such a great gem here in the city of Burbank. For everyone back home, check out Flappers Comedy on all the socials, and come see a show. Come see the kids' show, the 2 Milk Minimum, on Saturdays at 4, or any night during the week. They're open 7 days a week. It's really a wonderful club. And please, please check out the food. You gotta come and eat. The dinners here are amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. So sometimes we have council meetings that go way late into the night. And I have a kid at home, and it's really tough. And so for me, staying up all night and helping out a bunch of people who absolutely need that help, and then coming home and not having time for my own kid is really hard. It's really hard. But I figure the solution to that is we should just bring kids to the council meetings. It's a city hall for kids. I think that's a huge problem solver.